It's been a week, and I truly cannot believe that not a single outlet has reported on the connection between Flint, Michigan, and East Palestine, Ohio. Who remembers, it was about a decade ago, the Flint water crisis, where water was coming out of the taps, all sorts of different shades of orange and brown. It was a huge problem. People got sick. I believe even some died. And now we have this train derailment in East Palestine, Ohio, where they had to release all of these chemicals into the air, all of these poisons. And nobody is seeing the connection. Well, I can probably understand why some might be hesitant to report it, given the state of affairs on these platforms. That's why, of course, the only place we can talk about it in depth is over at the Florida Maquis Patreon channel, and the video is up. I posted about an hour ago, and we go through all of the details, all of the connections between the two. I know many are probably scratching their heads. One's a train derailment. The other is water that had poison in it from lead pipe. And the 10 years apart, how could they be connected? They are. They absolutely are directly connected. Unfortunately, because of this particular platform and its rules, I can't talk about it directly. But we're going to kind of hint around at it. If you'd like to see the real video, though, that just lays it out plainly, join us over at Patreon. Florida Maquis, it's only $1 per month. That's the lowest allowable level. It's even less than that, however. If you sign up for an entire year, there's a 10% discount. Fully refundable. If you look at the content, there's hundreds of videos, and it's not for you, stick around for a couple months. Up to 90 days, every dime you spend is fully refundable. We can partner with Vimeo, different servers than Google has. Stays away from their eyes, stays away from their advertisers. And that's all they're truly concerned about. But there's more to be worried about, trust me on this. Would love to have you over there. Psychological Operations 101. When you see it, your jaw is going to hit the floor. You're going to be like, oh my God, how did I miss that? How did I miss that? Nobody saw this. How did we all miss it? Let me give you a hint. Now you look at water like this, and you think, I would never. There would be no way I would ever drink water. It was so horrible. What happened to those people in Michigan? That's just terrible. I cannot imagine what that would be like. Now, what did they do when the government rode to the rescue? Pay attention here. When government came in and rode to the rescue of Flint, Michigan, they had, of course, this photo opportunity with the president at the time, Barack Obama, drinking a nice, clear glass of water that was apparently gotten from Flint, Michigan, filtered water, to reassure folks that it was clean and safe. Now, why would people believe, number one, that water, simply because it was clear, would be safe to drink? There's all sorts of clear water out there that can have things in it that'll kill you, number one. And number two, why would they believe that simply because the president was drinking it, that it was safe? Florida Maquis, they would never allow the president to ingest anything, ever, that would be laden with toxins and poisons and chemicals and carcinogens that could kill you, and that could have been scientifically proven to have been killing people for time in memoriam. That would never be allowed. We would never be allowed to have the president. It'd be a national security risk for us to show the president doing something that would be so deleterious and dangerous to his health. It would be a horrible example, wouldn't it? Wouldn't it? Now do you see it? Why would you believe that simply because Barack Obama would drink it, that it would be free of toxins, chemicals, poisons, and carcinogens? Just because the water's clear doesn't prove that. Of his own volition and of his own choice, for many years, and many, many years, Barack Obama was a proud smoker. And we have the proof. We have the video. We have pictures. But yet, people were reassured. Well, look, the president is drinking that crystal clear water, and nothing bad happened to him. He must be a good decision maker. Besides, the powers that be would never allow it, even if it was dangerous, they wouldn't allow it. Really? Really, that's the case. You know what this is called? This is called the framing effect. This is part of psychological operations training 101. Everything is relative. Perception is reality. When you reframe something by placing it in a new context, you can change the way it's perceived. This is 101. You see, when people see this, they're like, oh, of course. Why did nobody call this out? I'm not reassured by Barack Obama drinking that water. Barack Obama's a smoker. He willingly ingests poisons and chemicals and toxins and known carcinogens into his body regularly. Knowing they're dangerous, he does it anyway. Do you see my point? Do you see my point? Now, here's part 2. It's the media. The framing effect. Now, this is kind of a tough one to see sometimes because it's a cartoon. But look at the two guys in reality in front of the camera. The guy on the right is chasing the guy on the left, and he's got a knife over his head. But look at what the camera shows down here. See, they only show this part of his body and this part of this guy's body. And it looks like the guy on the left has a knife in his hand going after the guy on the right. See, this is truth. Here's a new way to frame it. Man, I love that Obama guy, that Obama character, man, with the left trying to take away everything I enjoy, my right to smoke and my right to drink. You know, that man, I tell you what, he's standing firm for our rights. See how I just reframed it? See how I just reframed it? Who remembers, though? Who remembers the idea of things that could be bad for the public being bad for everyone and government should intervene? Who remembers the smoking, the big push to get smoking out of all the restaurants and all the public places? That was a left versus right fight, wasn't it? The left was saying, you know what? We need to worry about the well-being of everyone, not just the needs of the smokers. And then, of course, the right pushed back, said, that's my right to smoke. You're infringing on my liberty. I should be able to smoke in a bar, you know, whatever I want to. Well, I mean, you're making everybody else smoke too. Even the people that work there. So smoking bans went into place for the protection of everyone. But then all of a sudden now, it's the right saying, well, we need something to be done about this. We need somebody to intervene. We need government to step up, and we need to make sure that this never kind of... Well, isn't this just part and parcel of liberty and a free society and capitalism? I mean, supposedly there's a picture, video, something like that out there of a train wheel that's on fire. Apparently there's some maintenance or some fault. Who knows? But they had insurance. They had insurance. And for those of you out there saying, well, something illegal was going on, nothing illegal is going on. It was a train rolling down. If it was a train and it was rolling legally perfectly right before it derailed, which it was, because somebody would have had to legally load it, whatever they were transporting, if it was illegal, nobody would have been able to load it. Somebody has an insurance certificate somewhere. Somewhere, someplace. This stuff doesn't magically appear in train cars. It had to go from some point where it was made to another point to where it was, loaded and then transported and signed off by a bunch of people. If somebody was speeding or there was a lack of maintenance or somebody was tired or somebody did something wrong, well, that's what insurance is for, isn't it? Isn't that what insurance is for? Just like with smoking, that's what the argument was made. Well, you know what? If you get cancer, that's what health insurance is for. It shouldn't infringe on people's rights. You see, Here's the framing effect part. There's a lot more people in the ground dead of cancer as a result of firsthand and secondhand smoking than will ever die from this. I promise you that's the case. Millions and millions and millions of people died as a result of this before we did this. Period. That's just the case. It's just the reality. The disaster, quote unquote, was slow and long in the making. But we could have banned smoking 70 years ago. Did we? No. Imagine how many millions and millions of lives that would have been saved. Here's something that'll blow your mind. The issue in Flint, Michigan has all of its roots in lead pipes. Lead pipes that were put in to guard your health. You wouldn't want to live in a house without internal plumbing. That's a sanitary issue. And besides, those lead miners, they need you buying those lead pipes to protect their jobs. Protect good American jobs. Lead in paint, lead in everything. It was such a huge blessing. And everybody was on the side of it because, boy, there was money to be made. Yay, capitalism. Yay, everything in the name of capital, no matter what. Whether it's giant clouds of poison streaming off into the sky, or whether it's millions and millions of feet of lead pipe, or millions and millions of dead, so that big tobacco could make their money. All in the name of mammon. All in the name of mammon. I'll be honest, I bet nobody thought about this. If someone can point me to a link where somebody pointed this out specifically, I would love to see it, love to hear it. And this has been 10 years. Somebody should have it somewhere where somebody said, hey, how can we simply just watch Barack Obama drink a glass of clear water and assume that based on that, the water in Flint is safe? Number one, clear water isn't always healthy for you, number one. Number two, the man knowingly ingests poisons, known carcinogens and toxins into his body anyway. So even if we told the man that there were toxins and carcinogens in that glass of water, he would have drank it because he smokes. Would love to hear somebody who pointed that out. Would love to see the article, would love to see the link, love to see the video. But you won't find it. You won't find it. Why? Because it's psyops. It's psyops. It's the framing effect. When you frame things a certain way, nobody will see it. You will literally make them blind. So I will leave it there. But once again, we can go into this way more in depth than we did here at Patreon. $1, that's it. $1 per month. And guys, it makes a huge difference in my life. A massive difference in my life. It gives me leverage. It gives me ability to speak freely and share things that you'll not get anywhere else. And once again, if it's not for you, I know the content I put out over there isn't for everybody. I'm not going to pretend it is. That's why you have 90 days. And in 90 days, you could watch one video a day, and you could watch probably a new video every day for that first 90 days. That's how many videos are over there. And you could then say, you know what? I've seen all of it. It's not for me. And you can get a $3 refund, a 3-month refund. So there's no risk. No risk whatsoever. So would love to have over there. Those of you who are, God bless you. Thank you so much. Humbly, it means so much to me that you guys are willing to even sacrifice that dollar. It makes a giant difference in my life. I just don't have the words. Thank you. God bless. Like, share, subscribe. We'll see you guys next time.